What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another Marvel Future Fight video. Alright, so in this one here, we're going to be taking a look at Rachel Summers again. I decided to give her another shot to see if I'd like her a little bit better after getting her to level 70, and we are going to be taking her in against Galactus here. So, yeah, she's going to have to really step it up if she wants to clear Galactus for me. And my definition of clear is just being able to do a third of the damage, because I kind of like that bar where if you have three other kind of competent players or players that have the exact same build and character that you have, that you would be able to clear it with them. So that's kind of the bar I set. Let me know if you think that's too lenient, if they should be able to do 40 or 50% of the damage for me to consider them a viable option, just because a lot of times you don't always get matched up with the best teammates if you're doing it just on the public kind of random search. But anyway, here we have Rachel Summers. She is level 70 now. Her gear is all 20s except for the bottom gear. I gave it the 2 rolls right there to get that extra boost to the ignore defense, because I don't think she had ignore defense on any of her gears. Oh no, she did here. So someone else I was thinking of. I remember one of my characters, I was like, why do I only have like 30% ignore defense on this character? And I was like, oh, their gears have no ignore defense. Anyway, here's our skills on her. We have all of them leveled up except for the 3rd skill. I think we get a little something on all of them. The all defense down doesn't apply to world bosses, which is kind of annoying. If it applied to world bosses, she'd definitely be a very, very hard hitter in World Boss Ultimate, because right now she can hit decently hard. But anyway, let's see. The other skills are, yeah, I just got the all defense down, and then we got the attack boost here on the 5th skill. Her typing, we have not enhanced that at all, no type enhancement. Her isolate set, we do have overdrive. It's just stage 6. I didn't go with a fully awakened set because I didn't really want to invest too much more in her, because my initial kind of testing or play with her at level 60, I was very, very unimpressed with her, to say the least. And then her obelisk here, again, not the best obelisk, but I didn't really want to invest too much in her quite yet because I haven't really been too impressed with her. So we just have a fire damage with a 140 proc on her, which is nice because her 2 most damaging skills are fire damage. If we go over here, her 4th and her 5th skill do have flame as the tag on there, so definitely can take advantage of the fire damage. But if I decided to kind of beef her up a little more, put a little more investment in her, I think a CT of energy would work really well on her, because she does have quite long animation on the 5th skill, so there's quite a few hits on that. And then the 4th skill is quite quick, but I think there was a decent amount of hits on that. Maybe not. Maybe a CTP of destruction would be better on her. I haven't really I don't really remember how many hits on her skills. And then if we take a look at the details here, you can see I've gotten her pretty close to cap, at least for ignore defense and skill cooldown. They're right at the cusp, which isn't really going to affect her too much. Of course, I want the skill cooldown to be as close to max as possible because of her wonky cooldown on her skills. Like 3 of them are 9 seconds or something like that, or is it just 2 that are 9 and 1 is like 8 seconds? Either way, her skills have very long cooldowns, which is really annoying for proccing obelisks. And then her crit rate is pretty close to 50%, so I'm okay with that. But her crit damage really needs some work. I haven't put any Uru on her yet, so that could definitely bump her up a little bit more. But this is what she's looking like for the actual fight against Galactus, so you have an idea. She definitely has a lot of room for improvement here. I basically got her to level 70, and I was like, all right, how much did getting her to level 70 really help the character out? And we'll show that with this fight against Galactus. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Alright, so here we are loading into Galactus. Let's see. Who are our teammates today? Come on. Don't I click the button? There it is. So we have a tier 3 Luna and a tier 3 Captain Marvel helping us out here. I'm pretty sure the Luna is going to be the one doing most of the damage here based on the team that the other guy has for the Captain Marvel. Unless this Captain Marvel is really good and he just has those 2 in for the kind of bonus characters or something like that. But anyway, our team here that we're going to be using with Rachel is going to be Ancient One for leadership, and then we have Ghost Panther for the tier 2 support and passive. So we're getting that extra fire damage from Ghost Panther. We got a little bit of extra elemental damage from Ancient One there, which is going to help out Rachel for her 5th and her 4th skill damage, which is going to be, of course, where we want to proc at. And I have to be very careful with Rachel here because she dies extremely easily. She's got to be the squishiest. I was taking a look at the damage here. She's got to be the squishiest character I have ever played. I swear, she dies faster than Gambit, and I don't understand why, because I looked and I think her base HP is still pretty high. I mean, I think it's normal. What has she got, like 25k or something like that, I think was her HP that I have on her right now, and I think a lot of my other characters that I bring in here are still like 25k as well, 26, 27. Her defense is a little bit low for physical. She has one of the lower kind of stats I've seen for physical defense, but energy defense is high enough. So I'm just not sure. She dies really, really quick. Like the arm swipe from Galactus just one-shots her like instantly, like 2 ticks of damage from that, and she is done. Yeah, so it looked like I switched there just because those purple circles were a little bit too close for comfort in terms of where the teammates were running off to. So that is going to hurt Rachel's kind of DPS here, or time, is I do switch a lot here to try to keep her alive, just because I think this is my 4th or 5th attempt or something like that to get a video of Rachel here. So I was kind of a little cautious. I wanted to keep her alive. I didn't want to restart again. I was getting over it. I'm like, all right, I want to get this clear here, or this clip, so that I can make my video on Rachel. I'm tired of restarting. So I was playing very, very carefully. So that did hurt my damage a little bit. So keep that in mind when we see the final kind of damage numbers here. But overall, luckily I was somewhat surprised by her damage. As you can see here, we're up to 6 million damage in, what is that, 2.5 minutes. So not too bad. I mean, she is on pace for just barely scraping by and getting to the minimum of 1/3 of the damage that I want to kind of see from my characters here. So getting her to level 70 does seem like it gave her a pretty nice boost in her damage. Her survivability, however, have not seen any kind of boost in that. Her survivability is still pretty abysmal. I don't understand how she dies so easily. She really does like get one-shotted by pretty much everything, and I really don't know why, looking at her kind of defense stats and her HP pool. I'm just not really sure why she dies so quickly. Like in Ebony Maw, was it the pillars that he summons from the ground, getting hit by one of those pillars was killing her from almost full health. One pillar. Normally, any of my other characters would be able to survive that. Even Gambit has survived getting hit by one of those pillars, but she gets one-shotted by it. So I just don't understand where her where her stats are going, because she has the same values on her energy defense as my other characters. She has the same HP value, if maybe a little less to a little bit more, depending on who I'm using, if it's a tier 3 character or not. But yeah, I don't understand it. So let me know if you guys are kind of experiencing the same thing. Do you find her to be overly squishy, that she just dies very, very easily, or is this kind of like a unique issue to me where my Rachel just doesn't want to stay alive for some reason? But anyway, we're working through here. I'm trying to use her very, very short iframes to keep her alive, because we have all the protection on the 5th skill, and besides that we have no other protection from Rachel. I would have really liked it if she kind of had a guard hit on one of her other skills or something like that, or maybe just the 4th skill be like a full iframe or something like that. That would really, really help with her survivability. But besides that, she has that short iframe on the 1st skill and a short iframe on the 3rd skill. So I try to time those sometimes when my 5th skill is already been used and the invincibility has worn off. I try to use the kind of movement and iframe on the 3rd skill to maybe hop out of the way, or the 1st skill to get out of the way if I'm not able to just manually run out of the attack radius, which does happen quite a bit. But anyway, we're powering through this. So we've got about 20 bars left in 4 minutes and 45 seconds. So not too bad. We are on pace here, but like I said, Rachel is a little bit low on the damage here. So I'm trying to squeeze in what I can in terms of a little bit of DPS, because I think overall she does a little bit less than Silver Surfer in terms of comparison of new characters. She's a little bit less damage than Silver Surfer, but Silver Surfer does a lot better in World Boss Ultimate than she does because of his all defense down, so he's kind of got her beat out there. but in terms of GBR, they're pretty similar in terms of their clear time and damage. There we go, popping that. Oh yeah, she does have the heal on the 5th skill to heal up a little bit, but like I said, it doesn't really matter when you die in one hit. I think they need to fix that. She needs a little bit more work, I think, to be kind of worth a kind of exclusive character. So yeah, see, I switched right there because that one-shots her very, very easily. So I had to switch right there because I was running into my teammates and I couldn't get by them. So they were working as like a roadblock to make sure I couldn't get out of there. So we're losing a little bit of damage right there. Now I've got her invincibility up, so I'm not too worried about getting hit by anything. But yeah, I think she needs a little bit more work to be kind of considered an exclusive character, because you only get her from the danger room or her pack. So she is kind of one of those exclusive characters, and I feel like she should be better for being one of those. I was looking at the damage here, I'm like, that seems really low. That's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, dang, I was hoping that she would do better than this, because we're actually getting through this clear here, and I was under the impression I was doing quite a bit of the damage because I knew the other guy wasn't going to do much damage. So it was all up to that Luna. You can kind of just tell by their team comp if they're going to be a really good player or not. Someone just got one-shotted right there, I think. Yeah, so see, there I go switching again because I couldn't get out of the way of his hand, so we're losing a little bit more damage there. So yeah, we're losing quite a bit of damage from me switching, where if I just played a little bit more conservative, like kind of kited around a little bit more and just used my 5th and my 4th skill exclusively for damage, then I probably would have done a little bit better here. I missed a few damage procs. We have only a 140 damage proc on her, so even that, when it procs, isn't going to be anything too crazy. So there's quite a few things going against her here in terms of hindering her damage, but I mean, that is kind of like an average build for someone that just wants to like unlock the character, and they're just going to throw on some of their kind of spare gear or something like that when working on her. So I think that's kind of a realistic thing for someone that's not going to like really invest in the character. So we're getting close here, and then we'll find out what the final score is and if Rachel is going to be a viable option here for Galactus. And I do still need to, oh, he's going to do the Rasengan Balls of Death right here. So those things are, oh, the other guy died, it's just me. It says nicely done. Yeah, because I shouldn't be able to fail in a minute and 20 seconds, and I'm looking again. So we're going to get about 20 million damage, it looks like. We did have to wait right there, so that wasted a lot of time, and now he's doing this, and that's wasting a lot of time. So there's a few things in this clear right here that are kind of going against Rachel and showing off what she might be able to do. But overall, I think we get a pretty good idea. So there we go. Ending 19.6 million, almost 20 million damage. We have 1 minute left, so it took her 9 minutes to do that. If I take into account all the switching I had to do, if I take into account some of the kind of purple attacks that Galactus was doing that I couldn't avoid, then I think in the 10-minute time period, I can realistically expect her to do 22 million, maybe 23 million. So she's right at the very, very cusp of being able to do a third of the damage with my current build. If I gave her like a 160 proc, a 180 proc, then I think that she would hit the 1/3 damage, but again, it would be really close as well. So overall, I'm actually somewhat impressed with her because her damage was so bad at level 60. I didn't even think that she would have like even a fighting chance against Galactus here, but when all is said and done, she got pretty close to doing a third of the damage, so I call that pretty nice. So yeah, I mean, overall, I don't think she's anything too crazy, that she's not going to be a character that everyone should rush out and get. I think you can just farm her kind of the slow way through the danger room, or if you do want to get the pack, I do still think the pack's kind of worth the value in terms of looking at getting a tier 2 character, because if you use a mega rank up ticket and then a tier 2 ticket, you're definitely going to be spending more crystals overall for those 2 tickets than you would on the pack, and she is extremely easy to get to tier 2 after buying the pack. You don't have to win very many fights in the danger room, so you can do it easily in one sitting. You can get her to tier 2 after buying the pack, so not very much investment there. But anyway, that's going to be my fight here with Rachel against Galactus. I hope you guys enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.